Hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. And I know I say it every day, but seriously, I really appreciate it. I am here 365 days of the year to take your political questions. I take them out of the chat, just put them in all caps. In the chat, anything in all caps is how you communicate with me. And other than that, please just type normally. Because people have whole conversations and they're really kind to each other and helpful. So 10% of my income from everything black and orange goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. It's an ongoing thing. And we have epic troll slayers who really help. So thank you. Well, thank you, Mandy. Thank you. Yes, we have his new hat. Yes. Anyway. All right. Lots of questions today. Starting not today, but starting next Saturday and possibly maybe on random days, Sarah, my friend Sarah, who is with me on the afternoon live streams over at Book Art Media, this morning she was kind enough to help me gather your questions and maybe whatever else was kind of floating in the news ether. And she's very Southern. She is also very Southern, and her commentary on the news headlines pretty good. So maybe starting next Saturday or on random days, Sarah might be jumping on first thing just to share what the day's questions are going to be, and then I'll do the readings. But we'll see. This morning she had one comment, which I've put in the description box, which I will read out. Her commentary on one question, which was pretty good. Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. And today's nails are very, very Christmassy, very candy cane, kind of fun. All right, so we're gonna jump in. Yes, Judy, Sarah is a good Southern girl. Yes, she is. She can bless your heart with the best of them. All right, so this morning, I'm going to start out with a little song. And this might be kind of an ongoing thing. I hope it's an ongoing thing. Because there is someone in the news who is so petty and so messy that we hope this is an ongoing thing. If it is, I'm going to start making a graphic for it, like on Colbert or something. So, on a gift day of Christmas, Lin Wood did give to thee Tucker Carlson's Hunter Biden plea. You're like, Tucker Carlson's Hunter Biden plea? What is that about? Lin Wood, who has released all kinds of interesting stuff up until now, Lin Wood has released a series of emails that shows that Tucker Carlson begged Hunter Biden to write a letter urging Georgetown University to admit Tucker's son, Buckley. Yeah, we will not. I'm not even going to touch that Tucker named his son Buckley. Kid's a minor. I'm not going there. But really, Tucker? Really, Tuck? Really? You went there? After all, okay. So it turns out this was back actually in 2014, which in many ways is worse because they were friends, or they knew each other, or they had, and Hunter Biden did this for Tucker Carlson. and is a much nicer person than I am because he has not said boo about it. But Lin Wood has the emails. He's got the receipts. Lin Wood has the receipts. So apparently, I've got one. Hang on, I'm just going to do one. I can't save the time stamping. Let me just get rid of this here to make just a bit of space so I can save this. All right, so Barbara. Okay, so Kay Rubio is saying tucks of putts. Pamela's saying, oh, tuckums. Yes. Grandma Rose says, the kid's not a minor now if he was 18 in 2014. I know, but it's a kid. I'm somebody's kid. Anyway. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll on here. So apparently QAnon is displeased. The QAnon crowd is very unhappy to hear this. Ooh, Zeta, do you have anything specific or any links to news outlets? Please let me know. All right. QAnon is none too pleased with Tuck. Poor little Tuck. And so what kind of blowback? Because Hunter Biden did you a solid. And you trashed him. And even when you trashed him, he didn't turn around and call you out. Which makes Tucker look even more petty than he did already, which is saying something. So what kind of blowback is poor little Tuck going to get from QAnon? That's our question. That's our first question today. QAnon, where are you? Ew. Yes. Okay. Wow. I read tarot cards on YouTube. And I am as sane and sober as a monk compared to those people. Oh my gosh. Thank you, B. Smith. Rob D says, how can we be sure the emails are real? It's Lin Wood we're talking about. Oh, I understand, but he's had other receipts. So, and if people, if legitimate news outlets are reporting on it, then they've looked at the metadata and whatnot. So, and we'll get to. I hope I think it's on the list today to look at the. Anyway. Yes, I know. Yeah, Jeff Clark. I know that's on the list. Okay. Anyway. That feels like a big old "you are dead" to me. So is there going to be any kind of blowback from QAnon to poor little Tuck? All right, Nine of Wands, the Star. The people we've been out here fighting, and you've been our star, our guiding star, but you're just part of the establishment. But he's still going to show up and say what they want to hear. So, a decision, maybe a threat to take somebody to court. I don't. But ultimately, card fell, and I'm tempted to leave it there. Except I might need it later. That's Tucker still going on every night and still being Tuckerish. Oh, yeah. Okay. They'll get over it. Because there just aren't enough other people saying what the far right wants to hear. So, Pauline Francis, Bill Buckley would have looked at Tuckums with disdain. Ooh, I hear you. Okie dokie. Thank you, Maria. Rob D says, regardless, it's time to refill the popcorn bag. Oh, heck yeah. Okay. Seriously, there's like a whole thing I've been working on how to say it today, and then when it's part of the list, because there are at least 2 more that little bombshells he's dropped. So this is his 3rd gift day of Christmas. So let's hope there's a 4th. Okay. So at 10:30, we've got 2 questions. At 10:30, we'll ask this first one. Okay, there. Now I can save it. So, oh, did I do this? No. It is not in my. I do not have this. It is not in my skill set, I'm afraid. Apparently, I am. And someone said this actually might be crocheted. I don't actually know. I think it's crocheted. I don't know. But I am terrible with knitting crafts. Knitting, horrible. Nobody can figure out how I managed to do it, but I can literally have, like, when I'm knitting, the yarn, I can literally just have it hanging. Tension, zero tension. And as I'm knitting, is absolutely no tension whatsoever. My stitches will get so small that I will actually start scraping paint off of the knitting needles. No tension. And I'm left-handed. And people can't figure it out. So it's like, I never learned. I tried, but so I have my other creative outlets. But yeah, I'm afraid I'm no help with the knitting stuff. Thank you, Marcia. Maria, yeah, it does look like crochet. It does. But okay. So at 12 minutes. Pardon me. So if anybody saw, excuse me. If anybody saw Rachel last night, Rachel Maddow, she was talking about Jeffrey Clark, and I cannot think of Jeffrey Clark without hearing the Jeff Bezos song that came out on TikTok and was everywhere. Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. That one. Anyway, Jeffrey Clark, who Trump wanted to put in charge at the DOJ. I don't know why I wanted to drink directly out of that. What I want is my coffee. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit discombobulated, but I'm back on track. Okay. So, Jeffrey Clark, he is the genius at the DOJ that Trump installed, who wrote a draft email to send to Georgia or Arizona. Doesn't matter. It doesn't do enough for this story. To tell them beg them not to send Biden electors to Washington, D.C., to either send only Trump electors or not send anybody at all. And he created this draft email. Okay. So that's one of the things the January 6th committee wanted to ask him about. So they invited him to show up, and he did. And he was not really helpful, and he ended up bailing, just got up and left. That's not very helpful. Well, the committee was sitting there as this guy leaves, and they're sitting there and they're like, well, we're here. So let me get on the record. These are the questions I wanted to ask, and I want to make sure I get these on the record. So the committee reads out this list of questions it goes on for pages. All right. And the transcripts of these hearings are public record. I guess. Certainly, I guess this one was made public. So it hits the news, the questions that the January 6th committee wanted to ask Jeffrey Clark. And one of them was, oh, by the way, you know that email, that draft email that you were going to send to Georgia about the electors, and why in the email itself, if you look, why is there metadata in that email that included the White House? So you were in communication with the White House in drafting this email? It's right there. It's right there in the metadata, the White House. We'd like to know more about that. So this comes out next day. Jeffrey Clark informs the committee, I'm going to be pleading the fifth. Really? Then there is John Eastman, who wrote the 6-point memo of what Pence should have done to overturn the election, right? He's also now pleading the fifth. Doesn't want to talk about any of this. Neither of them want to talk about these things because they could incriminate themselves. You don't say. So my question is, one question is Jeffrey Clark or John Eastman, are they going to turn against Trump to try and save their own behinds from liability, criminal liability, or any kind of liability? So I was going to ask about Jeffrey Clark, and then I was going to ask about John Eastman, and then are they about to pull the old switcheroo on teeny weeny Mussolini Trump? Em's asking, who are you on TikTok? May we follow you? Oh, absolutely. There's not much there at the moment. I plan on using it more next year. It's actually Book Art Media, which is in the description box. The Book Art Media, which is the publishing. It's how I publish everything. The videos, the books. It's my own little publishing business. So, thank you, Sheila. I miss you. I miss Sheila. Celtic Tarot Sheila. You are a sweetheart. I love spending time with you. Oh, thank you, SB Third Eye. Okay, so Pamela Bryant is saying Jeffrey Clark had better be worried about his license to practice law as well. Oh, yeah. So, first question. Jeffrey Clark. Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. Todd South, love your you don't say. Going to turn against Trump? Jeffrey Clark, to save your own behind? I didn't do it. What? Huh? It was, he wanted me to do it. Are these little profiles in courage going to astound us with their loyalty? Or are they going to, be the rats jumping off the Trump Titanic? All right, Jeffrey Clark, where are you? Jeffrey Clark. Okay, they said he is having a legitimate health problem right now. He was supposed to come in to speak, I think, yesterday again, but he apparently had a legitimate health problem. Okay. But I'm reaching out the energy, and I'm getting some panic. Definitely getting some feelings of panic from him. Oh, yeah. I'm not panicked. I have a fabulous hat on. I have you guys. Why would I be panicked? I cannot tell you how much joy this is giving me. This. Jeffrey Clark. Oh, thank you, Tonko. Thank you for the lighty pillow placement. Those are actually lit. They're actual lights. Okay, Jeff Clark is a wee bit worried. Oh, he's really worried about losing his license. That's the main thing I'm getting. He's worried about losing his license. Okay. Thank you, guys. All right, so are you going to turn on Mussolini? Oh, there he is. There's the man. There is a particular insult that is used a lot and has been used for a number of years now that I don't think is going to age well. Because there is a level of misogyny in calling somebody a douche. So I don't use that term, but Andre at Astrology Alert had quite the graphic, and I did a screen capture because it was really good. Here we go. So in comparing Donald Trump to a Mussolini, you have El Duce and you have El Duce. So I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, wanted to share that. Yoy. All right. Jeffrey Clark. Oh, gonna make a decision. That is a legal theft card. That is an insult to injury. That is a legal choice. That is a legal theft card. That is a legal insult to injury. That is a very unstable. That's very unstable energy. And all of this is very small and petty. All of this is very small. The biggest thing here is Trump. That waste of space. Is he? I'm trying to figure out if he's feeling small or if he's just such a weasel that no insult to weasels, but he's such a weasel that he's like he feels like the Peter Pettigrew of this drama, just a sniveling. So let me see what else I can get. Marjorie Lara is saying, I always called him Mango Mussolini. Yep. Michael Grant says, Weisselberg said there were 3 sets of books. 3? I heard about 2. I didn't know there were 3. Okay. Okay. So, Jeffrey Clark. Are you going to turn against Trump? Because you are worried. Just pull 3 cards. Are you going to turn against Trump? Michael Grant, it's a joke, dear. Oh, okay. Wheel of Fortune. He's afraid of getting crushed. Again, the 2 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Knight of Wands. This is fighting for the garbage Trump wanted. This is his own unsteady situation. I want to say that Jeffrey Clark didn't even meet Trump until Trump was already in office. So how did they meet? How did he get that job? That sort of thing. That might be the job. How did you get this? Willing to fight. But this is undermining his future, and he's afraid of getting crushed. I mean, you have to understand a lot of these people are just delusional and they're ultra right wing fantasies, but some of them aren't stupid. You know, they can see what happened to Cohen. Jeffrey Clark. Knight of Pentacles, working for the Republicans, higher in the DOJ, Hierophant, plum job. As long as he, all right, I'm not getting him turning against Trump. I'm just not, I'm not getting betrayal. I'm not getting, I'm getting him trying to go scurrying through a mouse hole in the Congress, in the Capitol building. Oh, thank you. More paper, please. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right. He's really worried. 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, 9 of Cups. This doesn't feel like he's sitting pretty. He just wants to get to a point where he can just go on with his life and put this behind him. All right. So that is what we get for Jeffrey Clark. Now let's look at John Eastman. It might be a different thing. All right, at 27. Eastman. John Eastman. Ye of the 6-point memos. Thank you guys for being here. John Eastman. Are you going to turn against Trump? Is he a professor? Does he teach somewhere? Because I'm getting that bad professors have their jobs for ego. Look at me. I had an English professor once who he would stand up in the front of the room and randomly just like quote Shakespeare or do a monologue or something. Recite a poem. That was his thing, reciting a poem. And then he would stand there until we clapped. He'd just stand there and would be sitting there like, oh, okay. He'd be like, Leslie's asking, does he go to jail? I wasn't getting that far. I got the energy of him just wanting to find a little hole to go scurrying through. But I didn't have him. It didn't feel like him turning against Trump, but I wasn't getting really strong energy. Does that make sense? He felt very small. But anyway, Michael Krantz's PhD means piled high and deep. All right, 9 of Wands. John Eastman. John Eastman, I mean, we've been talking about his 6-point memo for a while now. So Michael Grant, Eastman taught basic insurrection studies at the Trump University. Holly Coleman saying Eastman was a former professor and dean of Chapman University School of Law in California. Ding. Judgment. Hermit. Nine of Swords, King of Swords, Justice. Things might not go quite as well for Eastman. I've got Major Arcana, I've got Scrutiny, I've got potential prosecutors. Certainly people on committees asking questions, and this is him being very, very worried. So, you're looking worried there, John. You going to turn against Trump? You don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun the human embodiment of all 7 deadly sins running beside you. John Eastman, please turn against Trump. Feels like it wouldn't necessarily help. I don't know what exactly. All right, thing is you've put out there, coming back. Okay, he's put stuff out there. He was waiting to see what would come back in return, and it didn't go well. Lovers, that's part of the cult. High Priestess and 8 of Cups, evidence, secrets, evidence, being part of the cult. This feels like a separate thing. Eastman providing evidence. Lots of secret stuff. I guess we'll see what happens. I didn't think I assumed Eastman wasn't in that much trouble. He should be. But I just figured if he just wrote a thing saying this is how it could happen, it's First Amendment. You can put down on a piece of paper anything you want. Especially if you're not threatening to give somebody a dirt nap. You can write down on a piece of paper, whatever. But it's not looking good for him there at all. So I guess we'll see. All right, 33. Kimberly had a question. How many of 45's Republicans taking the 5th, how will it affect the January 6th committee overall? So with these yahoos deciding that they're not going to be helpful, they're not going to be honest, is that going to hamper the January 6th committee if enough of them do it? January 6th committee. January 6th committee is fine. That is what I get very strongly. They're golden. They are set. They are focused. Wow. Queen of Wands. Five of Pentacles. 2 of Cups. They're getting information from other areas. The little people on the right, the staffers, the interns, the documents, getting information, they're fine. Whether or not these Republicans cooperate or not, they've got so much information. Of course, it's better to get things on the record, but so Diane Lipko says, how are they going to be held accountable if they all plead the 5th? Because there's other evidence against them. They don't have to incriminate themselves. Nobody should have to do that. But there's other evidence. Empress, we're going to see it. We are going to see what the committee has found in detail. Liz Cheney's even come out and saying that next year there are going to be multiple weeks where the committee will be laying out exactly what happened. Okay. Four of Swords, Hanged Man, Strength. They're trying to delay things. The committee's having none of it. That's all I'm getting. I'm not getting January 6th committee being hampered a great deal. So I agree with you, Diane and Stephen. Can't wait. Right, Betty Harper, the little people are talking on the record. They're not pleading the fifth. Okay, so at 36:30, Kim had a question. 36:30. Now, I've never seen this happening, but let's have a look just in case. Will Trump be charged with reckless endangerment of people's lives? He knew he had COVID. I mean, first of all, how many people died under his watch? Oh, so I've got a little problem here. Sorry to know. How Trump being held accountable for putting people at risk. Now, there's some studies. Some people have they've actually done some studies on how many people it is likely are no longer with us because of Trump's actions as president. Last I heard, it was at least 150,000 people. But in this case, this wouldn't be his time in office. This is his personal choice to test positive and then go around other people and put people at risk. Now, the thing is, if he's held accountable for this, all of the other people need to be held accountable too. So Trump be held accountable for something like reckless endangerment. The moon, howling at the moon. Yeah, it's a little upsetting. Also, just making a lot of noise. Magician, I do what I want. He does what he wants. He wanted to debate. He wanted to debate Biden, so he'd just show up late. They couldn't test him. He did that on purpose. You'd think, did he have some more nefarious? No, he's just selfish. Three of Swords, it would have hurt him politically. And a lot of people died. So will you be held accountable is really the question. And yes, Michael Grant, gross and negligent manner. Yes. Okay, I wasn't going to pull another full five cards, but apparently I just did. He had a plan for re-election, or staying in power. It's not really re-election, just staying in power. The world, because he's the center of all. Eight of Cups, Lovers, Moon, Ace of Cups. He's not going to be held accountable. No. Nope. Own the libs. Encourage his cult. There's evidence against him, but he had all the power and... Okay. Yeah. 40 minutes. Okay. Kathy Lamson had a question. Okay. 40 minutes. Speaking of the illness, will the Omicron variant become a reason for the new suppression laws to be let up, allowing greater numbers of people to vote by mail? Okay. Will more people be able to vote by mail in 2022 because of variant? Well, more and more people want to vote by mail. Greta says no. Page of Wands. Message, but it's small. 5 of Wands. Emperor. 2 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. Justice. It's a decision. There's fighting, to limit. We know there's fighting going on to limit voter rights. They're still working at it. It will be taken to court. There will be decisions made, but it's they're voter suppression. They're just going to work as hard as they can, and we just have to go out in numbers where they can't deny it. That's what I'm getting. But it depends when the states you're in, and yeah. Mandy of Merrimack is saying, let's not lose sight of the fact that these are acts of treason. I haven't forgotten. I have my thinking cap on. So, yoy. Okay. Greta says, unless we pass a National Voting Rights Act. I wish we would. I really wish we would. Man. All right. So at 43, and I've got to thank Sarah again, because the way she worded this is chef's kiss. In super sketchy news, literally, we have sketchy news. No, there. Creepy? Just a little. So, you know how in federal courts or in certain states, you can't have cameras in the courtroom. So they bring in sketch artists, right? Well, the sketch artist was working. And you know how Ghoulaine Maxwell is accused of basically playing mind games, right? She sat there and started sketching the sketch artist. That's a mind game. And it's creepy. Comments were like, completely losing my mind over this courtroom sketch of Ghoulaine Maxwell staring straight at the artist and drawing them right back. Imagine a court illustration of Ghoulaine Maxwell while she stares directly at you and draws you right back, another person said. She said it's not the first time she's been drawn in the courtroom. The courtroom sketch artist with more than 4 decades in the industry said, oddly, it happened in the last trial I sketched, just Lev Parnas. His co-defendant was sketching me, she said. So, yeah. That's creepy. So in sketchy news, in super sketchy news, an interview with the Maxwell Court sketch artist, Jane Rosenberg, staring creepily at her, is this a peek into the mind games that Maxwell has been accused of by her victims? Will her true nature come full force as the trial continues? Basically, are the jurors going to see the creepiness? Now, if she was regularly an artist, like if this is what she did in her free time, was drawing, well then, yeah, drawing someone who's drawing you, it'd be kind of a noteworthy thing, so you may be making a record of it. I've known people, you are in the capable hands of an art history major. And I went to art school, and I knew people who, they were always sketching what was around them. So that wouldn't be creepy. Anything of note, the coffee cup, that was just random objects on the table, people over there, anything that caught their interest, like a journaling. But this is a mind game. So are the jurors going to really see and understand this woman's mind games? Because that's not a good look. With what she's accused of, it's just not a good look. But she can't help herself. She plays mind games. It's what she does. I also heard someone say that Rupert Murdoch patterned himself after Ghoulaine Maxwell's father. Only he's not as creepy. He didn't manage to be as creepy as Ghoulaine's father. Whew. Page 1. Sketching. The artist message can be drawing. Yeah, definitely sending a message. Whew. Hanged Man. Empress. 4 of Swords. 5 of Swords. 3 of Wands. She's not going to keep doing this. Her lawyers are probably already saying to her, do not do that again. Do not do that again. Because this is now PR in the world, but it's also, some of the jurors could see it as creepy too. Trying to intimidate the court artist? How messed up do you have to be to try to intimidate the court artist? Suspension of where she's been, her real nature is coming out anyway, because she is under duress. And that's the thing about stressors, be they particularly good or particularly bad, they bring out your real nature. Insult to injury. She's expecting help from some quarter. Yeah, but I don't think we're going to see that again. I mean, unless she decides to do it, but it feels very much like her lawyers. She has like 4, 2 of whom are women. So, Cat Shepherd says, what's she going to do with the sketch? Tape it on the wall with newspaper clippings about her crimes? Yeah. Michael Grant says, my black moon Lilith is conjunct her Venus. Dare I ask, Michael Grant, how does that make you feel? I'm always curious how, for those who don't know, it's an astrological thing. But in Black Moon Lilith is Lilith. It is the first wife of Adam who would not submit. She was very uppity, and she should have been. Good for her. But I'm always curious how Lilith energy affects men. Good, bad? How do aspects that affect a man's Black Moon Lilith, how does that make them feel? I'm always curious about that, but it's neither here nor there and none of my business. I'm just saying. Kathy Anderson, hello. Arts for her new jail cell. True. Kylo says amusing herself. Kylo says I think she's actually doing it out of boredom. Kyla says, do you know her Lilith sign? I do not. Michael Grant says, we feel oppressed. Really? Interesting. That's kind of sad. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, at 51 minutes. 51. This is kind of interesting. Because nothing else I do is. Never trying to make things interesting. While we are still left scratching our heads about Dr. Oz, his Pennsylvania Senate run, having lived in Jersey for decades, what about some of the other states that are throwing up ridiculous candidates? Georgia will have ex-NFL star Herschel Walker on the ballot. Arizonians get the chance to vote for Craig Brittain, who up until recently ran an adult site where people could upload videos in revenge. So the question was, what will the swearing-in ceremony look like after the midterms? Oh boy. The swearing-in ceremony in January of 2023. How tabloidy is it going to be? How weird is it going to be? January 2023. It feels actually like some of the crazies we already know about aren't there. It's notable. The overall energy of the swearing-in ceremonies in January of 2023 Nancy Living Co. creatively says narcissist mirror to control and disturb. All right, midterms. Knight of Swords. I think there might be some legal stuff that will affect or have affected the midterms. Knight of Pentacles. Oof, shoulders tightening up. Knight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Death card in the middle. Queen of Cups. Judgment. This is the Republicans fighting to get control of the House and the Senate. But I've got Democrats over here with the Death card in the middle and the Judgment card at the end. And this, they might actually be wielding It's not literal death. They might actually be wielding this kind of power. Because the Republicans are working over here, but there's no king here. There's a queen. There's a knight. There's just a pawn, a dude. Let's see. There's big stuff coming, guys. Big stuff coming. And it will be reflected in the swearing-in ceremonies in January of 2023. Far right on the defensive. An institution. There's some disappointment there. It's almost like the only disappointment here is that they can't get they don't feel like they can really get rid of all of these are investigators. This is the institution. It's disappointment they couldn't get all of them, all of the ones out who should not be there, who were investigated. Yeah, I'm getting big doings. Big doings. Okay. Don Gubb says is asking, has everyone rushed out to get the arsenic lead laden magic anti-vax dirt for Christmas? I'm good. I'll just have my coffee. Thanks. I'm good. Thanks. All right, at 57:30, Snow Wolf had a question. How long, if ever, for normal civility to return to the USA, generally speaking? I must say, our Southern commentator, Sarah, read that out to me and said, oh, honey, we burnt that bridge, unfortunately. I don't think we're ever going back. You got a Southern, oh, honey. But hopefully we're heading back towards civility. But let me just see. Civility in the USA. Queen of Cups. It's going to come back. Unfortunately, it's feeling like younger generations kind of stepping up and being like, you know what? Enough. Page of Pentacles, Tower, Ace of Swords. It's not until petty people can make a lot of money by being obnoxious. Look at the far right congressional people. You can make a lot of money being obnoxious. And be a little person, make a lot of money, and suddenly Marjorie Taylor Greene or Boebert is there suddenly raking in money. But truth is going to come out. How much all of this was a part of the insurrection, how much they were a part of the insurrection, on and on and on, allegedly. And that's when it's just not going to be, those kind of people aren't going to be rewarded as much. And as long as they're being rewarded, they'll continue with, doing what they're doing. Yeah. So Snow Wolf says, I'm afraid she's right. It will get better, but we need justice first. That's really the big thing. We need people who've done wrong to be held accountable. And once we get that, then our general discourse can start going back with once there are consequences. I mean, if you think about it, even with kids, if there are no consequences, they just get more and more uncivilized over and more and more and more and more. And then they run a real estate company and they become president. Racist, sexist, rotten human being, cheating, selfish. Anyway. 101. All right. At 101, Cecilia had a question. Jen Psaki plans to leave. Will Biden be able to find another sharp mind to fill her seat? Kathy says, I like your BFF, Sarah. She's funny. She is funny. She's a sweetheart. I'm very, very lucky. Very, very lucky to be able to call her a friend. Very lucky. So, Jen Psaki is going to be replaced. The next press secretary. Biden's next press secretary. Aren't they, correct me, are they talking about just promoting somebody who's already there? That's kind of what it feels like, but I don't know. Greta says there'll be another woman taking her place. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Oh yeah, that definitely feels like she can take it. It's dished out. Dished out. Agreed, Kathy Anderson. Come on, justice. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 2 of Cups. Feels good. The Republicans who think they're sitting pretty and what have you, she takes them on and ends up doing pretty well. I don't know if she's going to do as well as Jen Psaki. It's not like a knock it out of the park, but it's still good. Let me see. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay, 6 of, oh yeah. It feels like the press secretary people are all just kind of standing there behind the podium, and they're just kind of like, whereas and then like the Fox News and Newsmax and what have you, and they're all like parading back and forth across the back of the room. This is metaphorically, of course, parading back and forth, far right, and the people are just like grandstanding. And 3 of Swords, 10 of Cups, Judgment, up and down. It's going to be a lot of stress with leading up to the midterms. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Gina says it must be a job from heck. Yeah, from hell. Yeah. Holly Coleman is saying Jen Psaki, December 1st, 1978, Sagittarius Sun. Her moon is either in late Sag or early Capricorn, known in birth time. She has quite the stellium in Sagittarius. Okay. Oh, Dawn, I'm sorry. I've got my questions for today. But tomorrow, I'll be out tomorrow. I'm literally here every single day of the year. All right, so at 104:30. Okay. Mandy had a question, because apparently it wasn't just some bizarre, I guess it's being reported through legitimate news sources. So what does Bezos hope to gain by trying to dim the sun And the other guy pushing the moon around, are they trying to help or mocking climate change? Bezos, what's your deal? Dim the sun. There's something dim around here, all right. It's not the sun. Dim the sun. Or was it Gomert? Was it Gosar or Gomert? I think it was Gomert who was talking about move the moon. Move the earth. Are you serious? A card just went flying. Hold, please. Oh yeah, it's sitting pretty. Gomer. Anyway, Bezos, let's start here. Oh. I'm sorry, but these people are not intellectual giants. Just no. I know Bezos, I know he started Amazon, he deserves a lot of credit for that, but I'm not getting intellectual giant here. He has other qualities that have helped him immensely, but we know Gomer. So Bezos, I have a lot of money, he says. This is the merchant. I have a lot of money. And we have to do something about climate change. And I'm going to think about the big answers. Decisions. I'm a merchant. Okay. Gomert? Was it Gomert? Ace of Pentacles. Oh, genius idea. Sitting pretty. Why do I have to think? I'm in an important position. I'm white, I'm male, I'm in an important position. And you looked like an idiot. I'm not getting that they were mocking it. Kathy Anderson, mocking. Thank you for reminding me. Were they mocking it? Bezos. Gomert. They're saying so after the fact, after they looked bad. No, that's just disappointment. That's just burden. No, I'm not getting mocking. I'm getting not gentle, not intellectual giants. That's what I'm getting. Holly Coleman says Jeff Bezos, January 12th, 1964, Capricorn, Sun, Aries rising, Sagittarius moon. Well, Capricorn Sun, that would make sense to make the massive business place. Aries rising, so forceful, willpower. Sagittarius moon would be his emotional need to explore, reach out, and also big, ruled by Jupiter, so make things big. Yeah, Kathy Anderson, let's send nukes to the moon. Oh, send nukes to the sun? Because, yes, because even our biggest weapon would have such an effect on the sun. May as well throw a sparkler at the sun for all the good one of our human little nukes would do. Anyway. All right. So at 1:09, Judy had a question. Will the NRA get involved with this in parents of the kid in the Michigan shooting? Basically, parents being held accountable for not securing their guns, and then the kids going killing sprees, holding, so the law is trying to hold the parents accountable. Well, will the NRA go to bat for the parents or try to help the parents? Eight of Pentacles. Working on the right. Eight of Cups. Magician. Two of Cups. Doesn't feel overwhelming. There's evidence. The people trying to hold them accountable, this energy, trying to hold them accountable with evidence. There's someone standing up, but this doesn't, it's a major arcana, but it doesn't feel really big. So then again, the NRA has been scaled down. And do they even have the money to do something like this, to help these parents? Aspie Third Eye says, these peeps understand fully that their bases are a bunch of anti-science idiots who will believe anything they spew out there. Idiots. Are you a supernatural fan? And I know it's a word that's used elsewhere, but idiots. This word used a lot in Supernatural. I loved that show. Temperance. Oh, Teresa Ford said they bought him the gun. Then after school, they told him they worried about him because he was seeking bullets. Mom texted, LOL, not mad, don't get caught. Three of Swords, Seven of Cups, Hierophant. I'm not getting much from the IRA. Not IRA. NRA. Yes, Ireland. Ireland's going to get Ireland's going to get involved. No. No, but they're in for a world of hurt. Yick. All right, let's see if there's a message for us at 1:12:30. Yeah, Pamela Brand, I agree. The IRA is pretty broke. So 1:12:30. A message. Is there a message for us? All right. Well, we've gone down into the muck. We have our cute, fun hat, nails, the fun overlay. We've got a little matchy match. We've got the lighty pillow, and we have each other. So there's good energy. And now we looked in the muck, and now we're moving out of the muck. Leave the muck down there. Ugh. Because you guys are very kind and you help each other, and you've been incredibly kind to me. And we are so disgusted by all of this nefarious garbage, because I'd like to think I'm a nice person, but you guys have certainly proven that you are. So, all right, is there a message for us? Is there a message for us? I need to get me a lighty pillow. Lighty pillow. I'll have to find the link and put it in the description box so you guys can see. Thank you, Love Jalou. Fool. Sometimes you just gotta ignore these idiots. You just have to just put them out of your mind. I've got stuff to do. Yeah. And yes, Dave, better days ahead. Page of Wands, Three of Swords, Queen of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Into every life, a little rain must fall. But just be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. Yeah, it really feels like just be kind to yourself, and that there will be ups and downs, but there are always good days ahead. There really are. And that's the message. Yeah, we'll have our troubles, our travail, we'll have our troubles, but just be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We'll get through. It's that simple. All right. And that's going to do it for me for today. But I will be back here tomorrow. I'm here every single day of the year. You can't get rid of me, try as you might. It is 1:34 here in Chicago right now. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel to once again do creative sprints. Bring your creative projects. Hang out. We will encourage you in the 3 minutes between our 25-minute sprints, where we're just focusing on our own projects. It can be any kind of creative endeavor, anything. It can be crocheting. It can be graphics. It can be writing. It can be painting. It can be newsletters. It can be anything. We just want to encourage you. That's it. All right. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. There are good days ahead. Don't forget. And I will see you right back here tomorrow.